The wrongdoings of the past are a cause of the greatest sorrow and the deepest regret. There were abhorrent and unjustifiable acts of violence committed against Kenyans, and for that, there can be no excuse.
The royal couple will spend the next 4 days in Kenya, which marks the country's 60 years of independence. Joining us now in Nairobi is Daily Mirror Associate Editor Russell Myers from his hotel room. Good morning to you. Well, the King has spoken at a state dinner. We heard a little bit of that address. For those historical wrongs during decades of colonial rule, how was Charles' speech received?
Well, good morning to both of you. Well, it's been a pretty punchy speech. I don't think we expected anything less than Charles. He's got a sort of form over the last couple of years talking about profound sorrow, whether that was for Britain's role in the transatlantic slave trade. But certainly, as you heard him talking there about the unjustifiable acts of British colonial rule. And it's not been without controversy because President Ruto, the Kenyan president, has spoken about the monstrous period of British colonial rule and affecting his country before independence in 1963. But overall, I think credit to King Charles for stepping up and making that speech. And overall, they've been very well received.
So is he expected to go as far as make an apology?
Well, I don't think so. Certainly that's been the calls from some quarters, calling for apologies, further down the line, reparations. We've heard that in the Caribbean. Certainly Charles has spoken about that in Africa before. And I don't think that the royal family are going to get into that. That's a measure for the British government. And we haven't seen too much measure from them. However, I mean, Charles talking about profound sorrow, his deepest regret, I mean, that is pretty strong. And I think that most of the people in Kenya will realise that is quite a way for the King to go, and are pretty accepting of his speech tonight.
So it's the King's first trip to a former colony. What's he hoping to achieve?
Well, I think it's about friendship, collaboration. Why is he here? I mean, the British government have asked him to come here. Most would have expected the King to make a trip to one of the British realms. Certainly, myself included, we were hoping to get over to Australia this year. It hasn't materialised, but certainly I think 2024 will be a big year. And you look at where the British government are positioning itself. It is about a post-Brexit world, reaching out to our friends and neighbours sort of across the world. And I think it will be a job well done from their aspect tonight.
So what else are they doing on this 4-day trip?
Well, it's packed. I mean, Charles and Camilla are packing a pretty relentless schedule when we're with them. I mean, it's night and day. We just had the state banquet tonight. They're talking to naval-based recruits in Mombasa in a couple of days. Nairobi has welcomed them with open arms. We had a big ceremonial welcome earlier today. But, the usual topics for Charles: climate change, domestic violence for Camilla, very much a team aspect of them working together. And over the 4 days, I think they're going to get a lot done, and maybe a period of reflection for the Kenyans with their relationship with Britain as well.
Russell Myers in Nairobi, thanks for your time, and we'll catch up with you very soon.